Drag has reaffirmed to me more than anything that I am indeed female. Getting ready to be Jayden, when I put the makeup to masculinize my face, when I tape my breasts up, when I put my packer in my pants, these are all things at the end of the show I'm glad to take off. For me, when I look down and I see my breasts, I'm so glad I have breasts. But the other things I take from the stage, the traits of what is considered masculine, being assertive, speaking up for yourself, being confident, these are all things I take off the stage and I carry with me in my own personal life. I want this community to be elevated because of drag and all the lessons I've learned from it. When Jayden came about, I was in a really bad place in my life. My mother had just passed away, and I was experiencing a lot of guilt because in hiding my sexual orientation, I missed the last 2 years of my mother's life. Growing up, from my family, I received the message that I was not turning out the way they wanted a traditional Vietnamese woman to be. And because of these messages I was receiving from my family, I decided to pretty much disassociate from my Vietnamese side because all I was feeling were feelings of rejection. I was just struggling with not having much worth in who I was. So it was at that point Jayden was born, because I felt that externally he was going to get out what I was feeling and not experience consequences that I experienced in my own life. And in doing that, what I realized was the more I was expressing myself as Jayden, the more positive feedback I was getting from people, because people were responding to the shared human experience and emotions I was putting out on stage. And it wasn't until years later where I realized just how important my Vietnamese identity is, especially on stage. In teaching the King for a Day class, where we've had 46 students come through, and it was really telling to me because I had an Asian woman in the class say to me, I had friends that did drag, and I didn't know I could do it until I saw you. And that was mind-blowing to me. That's why King for a Day is so important, because I've had people do it as a bucket list item. I've had people do it as a drag thing because they really want to do this drag thing.
Would you like to talk a little bit about sort of in terms of, I'm so distracted.
I've had people take the course, not perform because they realize they're trans and they decided to transition instead. And so that's what drag does for the society as a whole, because it allows us to define gender as it is for ourselves. When I first started, I was just Jayden Jamison because it was a spin-off of Jenna Jameson, the porn star. So I just thought I was going to be hot. And honestly, not a lot of Asian representation in the gay community. And I didn't feel desirable. I decided to lean into the masculine side because, in our society, men are embraced to being sexual and it's seen as a good thing. You're seen as a stud if you're a guy and you're highly sexual. So that's how I first started, because I just wanted to be desirable in a community where I didn't feel seen as a desirable dating option. And as the years have gone by, I've recognized that what I do on stage impacts my society as a whole, because I'm putting out there things I want to see in our world. And when you put that stuff out and people are responding to it, they themselves want to see that in the world. And it's like the raindrop effect. You drop a raindrop in a pool, it becomes a trickle, it becomes waves, it becomes a tsuami. So that's the change I want to see. So I'm more aware of what I put on stage and how I act towards people, because I want to model the behaviors I want to see. And then I want to eliminate the toxic behaviors that we don't want to see in our society. I'm excited what the new performers bring to the play, because they have a whole different slew of experiences than I've experienced. I've been in this game for 15 plus years, so I've been able to experience new different things. But this new crop of performers are seeing different things in their growing up experiences entirely different from mine. So drag is the perfect platform to be able to explore these things, gender roles, sexual orientation, gender identities, and whatever I can do to help you feel seen and that, you're not alone. And that's what really pushes me to keep performing as a drag king.